Are you buried in tasks, chasing leads, answering calls, fixing problems, feeling like your business runs you instead of the other way around? Well, you're not alone. But imagine if you could step back, create space, and build a business that actually serves your life. It serves you rather than just consuming you. This is Commission, the podcast where successful real estate agents, team leaders, and brokers go from chaos to wealth and freedom and impact, really. I'm Todd Tramonte, broker, owner, team leader, radio host, author, coach, all sorts of good stuff here in Dallas-Fort Worth, Texas. And alongside me is Grady Dill. And together we run Real Estate Growth Systems, where I've been coaching agents and brokers and team leaders from all over North America for 20 years almost, helping you scale your income and your impact. Today on the show, we're digging into a question that I think every serious entrepreneur and business owner needs to ask. Are you just grinding in your business? Do you really just own a job? Or do you ever actually work on your business? Are you only in the business, or do you ever work on the business? We're pulling back the curtain on what separates agents with plenty of hustle and grit and grind from those that are building real businesses that run with clarity and purpose and profit. So in this episode, here's what we're going to get into: how to fast forward your growth by actually getting out of your day-to-day setting. Also, how to get massive clarity on what you truly want. That's the biggest problem. I'm telling you, that's the biggest issue I see in all coaching clients and agents is, what do you really want? And then finally, how to know exactly what to do every single day to get you where you want to go. I know that sounds crazy simple, but there's a lot of us that certain days are willing to hustle and don't know exactly what to hustle on. So, okay, folks, it is time to dig in. This sounds very simple. Hopefully it'll be a shorter episode for you, but this is about working on your business and not in your business. And the number one way I know how to do that well, I've been doing it, if I'm just being honest and putting all the false modesty away, I've been doing this pretty well for over 15 years. The number one way I know to work on your business and not in it is to get out of the environment where you work in your business. So if you're in the office every day, every once in a while, you got to get out of the office. If being in your hometown is going to keep you grinding, there's just so many interruptions and so much opportunity there, you got to get out. That may be that you need to go to a conference. You know, we host a mastermind. Our people are in our office in Dallas 3 times a year for 2 days at a time. And that allows them to get out of their environment and work on the business and not in every single day. Very soon after this episode is launching, we have a all day, 1 day, call it kind of 7-figure year event. Really, it's a virtual business planning retreat where you can get really clear on this. You can get to working on your business and not in it, and take a huge step forward to putting what do I do every day into a plan. So you can trust the plan, trust yourself when you made the plan, and go fully execute on that for all of next year. But number one, the biggest thing you can do is just get out of your environment. My favorite way to do that is to go to conferences and to belong to masterminds. Mastermind's a cheesy name, but to get out of town 3 or 4 times a year for a day or 2 at a time with other people that can help me grow, help me see things more clearly. So how are you doing that? How are you doing that? Are you doing that at all? If you've been around me for very long, I teach this cadence of self-leadership where you devote daily, withdraw weekly, migrate monthly, and abandon annually. And if you're not migrating and abandoning, if you're not getting away monthly, quarterly, annually at least, you're going to get stuck in the grind and stuck doing all the things we talked about at the top of the show. All you're ever doing is making offers, showing property, pricing homes, recruiting, trying to figure out one more way to get one more deal, one more client, one more dollar, one more incremental step forward. And it'll chew you up and spit you out. It'll wear you down and burn you out. I don't know if you're feeling any of that, but I've been there. You got to be able to get out of that hustle. And if you're like me and you close the door to your office, somebody's going to knock. Hey, do you have a minute? Hey, could I get a second? You're going to get a text. Hey, I have a friend that might need to buy. You're going to get an email. Hey, I never heard back on such and such and so and so. You need to get out of your physical environment, out of the whirl, out of the flow, You probably need to get out of town. You probably need to get to a hotel or a cabin or a friend's place, someplace very different without the normal distractions, someplace where you can begin to look at your business from 10,000 feet, 20,000, 30,000 feet, metaphorically. Get away from it to see it more clearly, see it with more accurate and honest eyes. The truth is we need to get away, but sometimes we don't need to be alone. We also need to be around other people that can help us see with a right perspective. Many of us actually don't have the ability to see our own business clearly. We just don't. Grady's giving me the eye, right? We see it with all of our own context, with our own emotions, with our own history. Yeah, but that's why. Yeah, but this is the reason. Well, this is why we do it that way. And if you can get away and work on your business with the insight, mindset, perspective of other people, whether that's at a conference, whether that's a spouse, an advisor. This is why I love that mastermind concept, because I get 10, 12, 15 other people that are like, well, why aren't you doing it this way? And you're like, man, I never saw that. I just never saw it that way. So get out of your environment, get around other people with similar businesses, similar mindset, or different giftings, and you can work on your business. Now, this idea of on, not in, I learned from Michael Gerber, author of The E-Myth. I think everyone with a small business needs to read The E-Myth Revisited. It's an updated version of that book. And again, he's just talking about the only businesses that survive and grow beyond just grind and fail early phase are the ones where their founders, their owners, their leaders work on it, work on the systems, on the structure, on the message, on the brand, on the delivery, on the offer, instead of just every day grinding and delivering on that. So you got to get out of the environment, out of the business, and work on it. Okay. The other thing you've got to do is to get really, really clear on what you want. And I've been coaching for over 20 years, leading agents, coaching agents, onboarding agents, training my own agents. I've been coaching other agents all over North America for 15 years. And the number one problem I see is agents that really don't know what they want. Now, it manifests itself in, well, I was building a team and then I changed my mind and I went back solo. And I was solo, we were real postcard heavy, but then I changed that and we went real online heavy. And then I didn't really like that, so we did a little bit of PPC. And I really didn't like that, so I changed coaches, and now we're doing this big website thing. Well, they don't know what they want, so they don't know how to get there. And so the how to get there is changing all the time. The business model is changing. The work ethic's changing. The calendar's changing. The budget's changing. That's exhausting. It's very, very difficult, I have found, if you are a capable, hardworking American, to choose what you want. Grady, why do you think that is? Why is it so hard for us to choose what we want?
Because I want everything.
Well, yeah, because we're spoiled rotten Americans and I want it all. And I would say, because realistically, if you're a hardworking, tenacious American, you probably could have almost anything you want.
And I want it now.
And most of us want it now. The challenge, though, is I probably could build a postcard-based business and do really well, build a web-based business and do really well, build a referral-based business and do really well, build a local-only business and do really well, build a national referral network and do really well. The problem is because we have so many options because of our ability, our intellect, our work ethic, the country we live in, the freedoms we have, the internet, whatever. It becomes really tough to pick just one. If I was starving to death, I would know exactly what I need to do today. I need to find my next meal. If my family was physically unsafe, I know what I need to do. Get my family safe. But when I'm kind of doing fine and I have the ability to go this way or that way, or even maybe a little bit of both ways, it becomes really hard just to pick. So I want to give our friends, our listeners, our viewers, a quick tool, a quick resource for how to figure this out right now. This is what we call core motivation, or your ultimate driver. It's what some people in the NLP world, neuro-linguistic programming, call your 5, 6, and 7. This is getting the 5, 6, 5th, 6th, or 7th layer deep on what you really want. So we don't have time to go through all of this. If we were in a coaching call, I could do that for you. By the way, if you want a free 15 or 20 minute call, click a link somewhere near this video or audio and just request a call with me, totally free. We'll talk about implementing this idea of working on your business, not just in your business, to get to 7 figures of GCI or 7 figures of net income or more time off or whatever it is that you want. But You start by asking yourself the question, what do I really want? Or what do I want out of my business? Now, once you answer that question, you might say more money. Great. Then you ask yourself, what's important to me about more money? Okay, well, I could get out of debt. Okay, great. What's important to you about getting out of debt? And you ask yourself, what's important to you about that? And you fill the blank in that with your answer to the previous question. So you start with, what do I want? Well, what's important to me about that? Okay, well, what's important to me about that? Okay, well, what's so important about what I just said? And if you can get at least 5 layers deep to the 5th, 6th, or 7th answer, you're going to start finding what's been under the surface this whole time. What do you really value? What do you really care about? What's really motivating you? What do you really want? And you're going to find, at least I have found in doing this for 20 years, that it is almost always relational, your deep core motivation. And it's almost always about others. It's almost always about purpose and meaning and not about money, possessions. Freedom is a big one, but freedom to what? To spend time with those you love. Freedom to belong. Freedom to make a great contribution in the world, a lasting legacy, maybe an eternal impact. You do your own, but I'm just giving you a shortcut and saying, if you'll ask yourself that question, you'll be really thoughtful. You'll take 30 minutes or more to do this. I think when you get to the 5th, 6th, or 7th layer deep, you're going to find something that you want so bad. You're going to compromise less. You're going to work harder, stay committed longer, get more clear, be more efficient. And as you get clear on where you're going, others are going to want to go with you. Others are going to be compelled, passionate to join the mission to get there, to also be able to provide for their families and community in that way, to have that kind of impact on others, to have that type of freedom, to be that type of expert. So this second thing is getting really, really clear on what you want before you know how to get there. Then the way you do that, one of the ways you can do that is just to start with, what do I think I want? What do I want? What do I want to achieve? What do I want to have? Where do I want to get? And then dig deep 5, 6, or 7 layers deeper by asking simply, what is important about that to me? What makes that so important to me? Why do I care so much about that? You can rephrase that question 5, 6, 7 times. And when you get to that deep, deep bottom core driver, core motivation, then we can do step 3, which is to figure out exactly what I should do every single day so that I get that, so that I arrive there, so that I have that, so that I can experience that thing I just figured out that I really, really want. Instead of saying, well, I could do this or that, I'm saying it's really important to me that I do this. It's really important that I have that. Well, how do you do that, Grady? How do we figure out what am I supposed to do every day? I'm glad you asked, Grady. I'm really glad that you asked that question. I want you to make 3 lists, and you're not going to be able to do this all right now while you're driving or while I'm talking, but I want you to come back and re-listen to this a couple of times. Go get the transcript off of our YouTube channel and break this down. But here's the exercise I want you to go through, okay? I want you to make a list of all the things currently in your business that you need to do with any regularity. Like I have to do this at least once a month or more. That irritates you. This list is called your irritations. Make a list of all the things that annoy you, bug you, irritate you, wear you out, you wish you didn't have to do, you don't love it, you're not all that great at it anyway. Irritations. Make a list of all of them. Be as exhaustive as you can. Take 30 minutes on that. Okay? Now make a second list of all the things that you're just tolerating in your business. They don't drive you nuts. You don't hate them. You're not terrible at them. They're not super irritating, but they're also not your favorite things. You're just kind of tolerating. If you had to do them forever, it'd be okay, but ideally you don't. So you make a list of all the things you're just tolerating right now. Okay. Now the third list is the fun one. These are your fascinations. I want you to make a list of all the things that you love doing. You lose track of time because you love doing it. You're uniquely gifted by God. You were born to do this. You lose track of time because you have so much fun doing it. People are always telling you, man, you're amazing at that. I'm so grateful that you did that. It was awesome when you did that. Okay. Then we're going to go back to our irritations list, and you have to put one of 3 letters next to everything on that list. You have to put an A if you can automate that through technology or process or systems. You put a D next to that if you can delegate that to a staff member, to a friend, to a trade with another agent, a virtual assistant, a real assistant, an in-person assistant, or to technology of some kind. You can delegate it. And then third is E, you can just eliminate it. You're like, this has been annoying, and honestly, I'm just not going to do that anymore. I don't need to do it. I don't have to do it. I'm not going to do it for a while. So you automate, delegate, or eliminate everything on your irritations list. Now we go to our tolerations list, and we're going to automate, delegate, or eliminate most of it. There's going to be some things on there, depending on your current stage of business, that you can't automate, delegate, or eliminate yet. So A, D, or E, automate, delegate, or eliminate as many things on that list as you can. The goal, shortcut right now, is that you are at least 50% of your time in your business working off of your fascinations list. You're doing the thing that you're uniquely gifted to do, you're talented to do, that you're supposed to do with your life. It's where you're going to have the most benefit. It's where you're going to attract the most people to run with you. Okay, folks, you got to get out of your environment. You got to work on your business, not in it. If you want a great business, if you want to make millions of dollars, have freedom, travel, inspire others, leave a legacy, you got to get out of your business some of the time. Work on it, not in it. I think you need to get out of your environment to do that. Secondly, you got to figure out what you want to build to be able to build it. Okay. You got to work on that. You can't just always be saying, hey, I'm doing what I want. I want to make money. No, what do you really want? You got to work on that before we can go work in that vision and achieve it. Go 5, 6, or 7 layers deep, just simply asking yourself, what do I want? What do I want to achieve? Where do I want to get? The third thing, once we know what we want, where we want to get, what we want to have, who we want to be, then we can start figuring out, what should I be doing? What should others be doing? What should nobody be doing? What am I uniquely good at? What do I love to do? By the way, one great way to figure that out is, what do you hate to do? Right? What irritates you? What are you just tolerating? What is ticking you off, wearing you out? Okay, don't do that. Delegate it, automate it, or eliminate it. And then over the course of your life and business, you want to increase the percentage of your time and of your tasks that are fascinating to you, that are in your gifting, that are your unique ability. They're your superpower. They're your mission in life. You love to do that. I don't know that anybody ever gets way above 80% because life is still life, but you want to start setting a goal every year. I want to be doing 60% of my stuff in my area of fascination. I want to get to 70% this year. By the end of this decade, I want to be at 80% in my fascination. If you can do that, folks, you can make $1 million in GCI. You can make $1 million in net income. You can employ 5 people. You can make a difference in the world. You can sell 100 homes. You can sell 40 homes. You can hit your goal and live the life that you uniquely want to live. You can build a business that supports the life that you want to live. And if you want to talk about it, I'd be happy to give you 15 or 20 minutes of my time. Click a link somewhere near this video or this audio. Request a free strategy call. No obligation, no cost. We'll talk about how you can put this into practice in your life to build a business that supports the life you want to live. That's what fascinates me. That's what I love to do. I'd be thrilled to talk to you about it. Click a link somewhere near this video, the audio, and I'll talk to you very soon.